As you may have heard by now, Paramount is looking to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, which would mean several big changes are going to happen if that goes through. One of the things that is being reported is that if this purchase does go through, all the woke crap that's been going on over at DC Comics is out the door to be replaced by honestly, I'm not sure what it's going to be replaced by, because I don't think that, the woke is going to just disappear overnight. But I can hope to be very wrong about that when we get back to some actual good storytelling, because God knows we need it. Dive into this article here from Cosmic Book News. DC Comics Woke Fest toast with Paramount purchase of WBD. With the Trump-backed Paramount purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery currently in the mix, the woke DC Comics era could be over. Now, at the time of this video, right, David Zaslav has rejected the first offer that Paramount has made for the purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery. But that is typical in regards to when you're negotiating anything. You usually make an opening offer, it's rejected, and then you come back again. It's typical business in regards to that. But to let you know, that's what's going on. Fans have long criticized DC's direction in recent years for pushing identity politics, and the rumored Skydance deal could bring a course correction from the comics to the big screen. We've already been told that James Gunn will be out as head of DC Studios, and we expect the impact will be felt all the way down to DC Comics. Yeah, because this gay shit was somehow their idea and belief that this was going to be good for DC Comics. It got some shock value from it, and people bought the comic that did it because people wanted to own the comic that DC used to shoot themselves in the foot. But that was it. Woke DC replaced Clark Kent with his son John Kent and revealed him as gay and bisexual. I'm going to stop it right there. He wasn't revealed as gay and bisexual. He's gay. That's it. That's what they wanted. They wanted a gay Superman. You know it, I know it, they know it. That's what they wanted. In Superman, Son of Kal-El, the move made national headlines, but not for the reasons DC hoped. Yeah, you had Tom Taylor there with his DC Pride Superman logo on and all of this, and this was the only thing they were doing, and that's all John Kent became after that. Fans accused the publisher of chasing headlines instead of telling good stories. The title saw declining sales and was eventually cancelled after just 18 issues. Yeah, you had John Kent, or you had striking for climate change. This idiot there, there's no planet D, yeah, because they don't live in a multiverse. Yeah, that doesn't happen at all. It was absolute nonsense. You literally had Tom Taylor come out and say, you know what, John Kent being bisexual, even though we all know it's gay, is more important than him punching bad guys. So yeah, when you're getting robbed, assaulted, or murdered, you could rest assured that if you look across there, you'll see John Kent dragging uptown with his weirdo pink-haired boyfriend and say, you know what? That is more important than my life. That is what they want. Because when you don't know to write anything apart from being an... Sorry, another man used that kind of language. I didn't say. This is what happens. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The one character I dislike the most in DC Comics is John Kent. The character had so much potential, and they sacrificed him on the altar of woke to push an agenda. It was sick and stupid, and nobody should buy into it. That's what it boils down to. Absolute nonsense. The push for identity-driven stories extended across DC, from race and gender swapped characters to social justice plots. And just to be here, Marvel was doing the same damn thing. Marvel is doing the same damn thing. alienating parts of the core fan base. Basically, they were telling the actual fans, go screw yourselves, we don't need you. Critics said DC had turned away from its roots, replacing timeless heroism with divisive politics. Yeah, when they hired this lunatic to write Red Hood, knowing full well this person is a lunatic, they still hired this lunatic to write Red Hood. That should tell you, and the only reason that they hired this lunatic was because this lunatic checked boxes. That is all DC cared about. That is all they cared about. In September, DC canceled the Red Hood comic by Gretchen Felker Martin, a trans writer who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. Yeah, a man got assassinated for talking to people. You understand me? And this lunatic celebrated online. And keep in mind, DC knew they were hiring a lunatic, but did it anyway. The series was pulled just one day after its debut, with DC issuing credits to retailers. And just to keep in mind, people, Gretchen Felker Martin came out and admitted he's never read any Red Hood comic and he doesn't care to read any. But no, DC hired that lunatic because that lunatic ticked boxes. Look how that worked out for them. A man got assassinated and that lunatic was online celebrating it. Idiots. While official statements cited public comments inconsistent with DC's standard of conduct, the Hollywood Reporter reporting said the decision came directly from Warner Brothers executives, not DC Comics editorials. Keep in mind, DC editorial did not make the call to ask Gretchen Felker Martin. No, Warner Brothers executives had to do it. I covered that in a video I did. Because DC editorial is literally asleep at the wheel. They don't care. They literally don't care. I don't know what Jim Lee is doing, if he's even there anymore. I don't know. Because the real Jim Lee could be trapped somewhere and they just have some hologram of him showing up every now and again. It's entirely possible because it's so bad now. I don't know what's going on. Either that he just cashes his check and say, you know what? I don't care anymore. That's it. That distinction matters. It shows that WB leadership, not DC itself, stepped in to halt the project, possibly signaling a new direction from the top. God, I hope so. Donald Trump is already keeping an eye on changes under the Ellison's control via Deadline. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One late Sunday, Trump asked them, so who's going to be the head anchor at CBS? He paused for a second and said, not Nora O'Donnell. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Trump then added, Larry Ellison is great and his son David is great. They're friends of mine, they're big supporters of mine, and they'll do the right thing. They'll make CBS, they call it the Tiffany Network, and it's not great, and it's got great potential. CBS has great potential. The Trump comments followed Skydance's merger with Paramount and CBS. David Ellison has installed Barry Weiss, founder of the Free Press, as editor-in-chief of CBS News, a vocal critic of the woke left. You let the woke lunatics in, and this is what's going on. Because like I said to somebody, when you check on certain things involving Charlie Cook, a lot of these so-called free press, who aren't free anymore, are taking bits and pieces of what the man said and stitching it together to make it seem like you're some kind of lunatic. That's what's going on. And I don't think that should be free press at all. And that's not how I envision actual free press being. It should be telling the truth, not aligning to your political nonsense. That alone signals what's coming, a broad move to depoliticize corporate media under Ellison's leadership, and cross your fingers, DC Comics could be next. Now, like I say, if DC Comics gets good, fine, but I don't think it's going to be that easy, people. You have to understand, these woke lunatics have literally, and I mean literally, weaseled their way into everything. And it's not going to be easy to get them out. They are not looking to just go quietly into the night. They're going to fight, kick, scream, slap, jump up, bite, all kind of thing to get what they want. They're not just going to say, well, that is the way to work out and let me just move on. No, no, no. They're not going to do that. They are not going to do that. They are going hard on this and they are not going to just backtrack and say that they're going to go out the door. Doesn't apply that again. This is going to be a fight. If Paramount and Skydance complete the Warner Brothers Discovery purchase, we expect the Ellisons to purge the woke influence from DC Comics, which includes returning Superman to truth, justice, and the American way. Why they got rid of it was absolute nonsense. Truth, justice, and the American way is as simple to when it comes to Superman. It's truth, it's justice, and the American way is the ideal dream of what America was meant to be. That's what Superman fights for. But when you have idiots running around acting like, well, we know better than everybody else, these are the things that you get. These are the things that you get. Under Gunn, American way was dropped in favor of the human way, and what a humorous bunch of human nonsense that Superman movie was. Gunn's also attacked conservatives in his DC content, equating Nazis with people who love Jesus and stating a Nazi world is no different than our own. Oh, God. So if the Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger happens, here's what that could mean for DC. Now, they have some things here, and I'm going to translate it so you can understand exactly what the underline of this thing actually means. So we could all get a better understanding of it. First one, end of progressive storylines that alienate readers. Translation, end of the woke bullshit that nobody asked for. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it, and it's time to stop. The next one, focus on classic heroism and moral storytelling. Translation, we want actual heroes, not people out there preaching about how they don't like the social order or you pushing your political crap into everything. Heroes should be heroes. You see that whole Gotham 1 nonsense that you try to act like, oh, well, it makes sense. No. Catwoman and what she was doing was a criminal act. The fact that the Bat family was trying to back her up, Batman should have disowned all their asses and thrown them out of Gotham City. We want heroes who stand up and fight for what's right. Stricter oversight from studio leadership. Bring back people who know what the ass they're doing. You need editors with actual backbone and balls to tell people you're writing shit. Stop this. Go back, read about the character, understand the character influence, and then write it. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be here. Next one, new creators chosen for storytelling, not social messaging. Is Mark Waid going to work for the Trump-backed Ellisons? Same with Gunn and every other woke creator at DC. Translation, stop hiring woke a-holes. Stop it. People and their political nonsense should not be the defining factor of why they get hired, nor should it be what boxes they tick. Gretchen Felker Lunatic Martin should have never been hired to write Red Hood. You should have gotten writers who actually know what the hell they're doing, like Chuck Dixon, who was one of the greatest writers that you ever had, but you fired him and blacklisted him because why? He didn't join your merry band of craziness. And then you have Mark Waid, a literal scumbag that you brought back because he is a scumbag who came out and said, you know what? He would rather the industry burn than actually work for the alt-right. Get out. That's it. If you do not want to tell good stories and you believe your political crap is more important, get out. Next up, rebranding of DC's image to restore trust among longtime fans. Stop giving your fans the finger. Stop catering to your modern audience that does not exist. You're behaving like idiots. Your fans are what you should be making everything for. These are the people who will get you what you need to get. If you're too stupid to figure that out, then you deserve to lose money. But you need a rebranding of DC to bring it back to the actual DC, not the dumpster crap fire it has become. I believe I've translated everything there. Let's continue. In short, Trump's allies are poised to make DC great again, literally. The cancellation of Red Hood by WB Brass may have been the first sign. The Paramount deal could make it official. As Trump himself said, Larry Ellison and David Ellison will do the right thing. That might just mean the end of DC's woke era and the return of Superman's truth, justice, and the American way. I really do hope we get back to a good, and I mean a good DC Comics. But again, like I've said, people, they aren't going to go quietly into that sweet night. These people are going to fight, kick, scream, and claw because they don't want to go anywhere. It's not going to be easy, but God, I hope it actually gets done. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. You have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I shall see you all next time. Take care.